Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, evening, and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host from Pearl Dane, the one, the only master Propaganda, your lord and master, off here to 1v1 own. Bayeux in the east, it is Calyon, fighting for the Oberkommand West Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 12th SS Panzerdivision, Hitlerjugend with Grand Offensive, Feuersturm, and Overwatch with Sturmpioneer Infantry and Raketen Rifle Bulletins. Whereas in the west it is VWVC, we'll just call them VW or W actually, just V. Fighting here for the British Army, the Commonwealth, for the 51st Infantry Division. Here with Tactical Support featuring raid sections, who have now been given a new skin. Designate command vehicles, areas of collaborations, forward observation posts, and the Crocodile with triple infantry. And similarly, at least in Overwatch, the Jaegers have also gotten a reskin. So there we go. Raid section out in their fancy ghillie suits. Moving ahead here for King and Country. Double focus out there for Calyon. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my paid supporters, these champions, these heroes of the Propagandacaster in the business. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon, or you can donate by PayPal. Links in the description. And do, of course, consider donating, as it, of course, allows me to keep doing what I do on a daily basis. And I'll let you know, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button, spread the word of the mighty propaganda ministry. In the south, folks, moving forwards here, barbed wire up there to make it harder for the opponent to make a safe push around the car point or the fuel point, and so dig in. Dig in with sandbags up north here as well. Section falling back here from the center, and the south raid section grabbing the point here. Second raid section heading northwards. Raid sections are slightly similar to regular sections, except, as you might notice, bigger up front, but they lack the cover bonuses. They also get access to Molotovs, sprint, and they can down mines, and with the weapon racks they can just get a bunch of Vickers Ks. Third raid section out there for V. Southern points to Big C, steady advance here from Calyon and for V. So far, lots of barbed wire. The Calyon is clearly concerned about the British digging in around here, so he's taking this very seriously. Of course, against the raid sections, this won't matter as much. But against regular sections, of course, denying them cover is crucial. Bit of finding around here. The Southern Munition got another full squad could deal with the raid section there. And of course, this tells Calyon, of course, what his opponent's gone for in terms of doctrines. And there's only one that has access to the raid sections. North here, folks, with the raid section there. Bit of skirmishing, quickly falling back towards heavy cover. Sneaking further southwards while keeping some forces still wiring off there. My God, wir Sturmpioneers, not Baupioniere. My God, what's next? We have to build railroads. I want to get to shooting some Englishmen. Section forwards here. Tech for V. Falls to the caught in a bad position. And Calyon just retreats. I mean, he could have tried finding there, but he realised that would just be a waste of manpower and just a lot of easy targets for the British infantry. So rather than fight a loose engagement, he just preserves manpower and time and just gets the hell out of there. Very tactical astute decision. Even if it may feel bad, you just have to retreat right away without trying to do any harm. And we got Calyon here with Overwatch, with the visually overhauled Jägerlight infantry squads, early warning systems for the fatherland, like the Feldhaubitzers, and the sector assault ability. I mean, otherwise, there's been no change in the doctrine. It's just the Jaegers now, look a bit neater. Section moving about here for him. So it'll be a fight featuring two of the overhauled infantry squads in terms of visuals. Again, physically, there's been no other changes to them. Medics on the way for V to provide healing for his troops. Got the full moving forward here. Raid section opening up. Could power Molotov here if necessary to deal with those damnable hands. But right now, V's just off to a really strong study versus Calyon's got him down defense. So there you go. Molotov off. Catching that in the open. Burning through the fault communities. We've got the regular section to assist on this few parts, but they weren't barbed wire laid down. I'm sure Calyon feels a bit upset about that. I put down all of this barbed wire and he still gets through. My God. No wonder no one likes Englishmen. And just pushing forwards here. Volkswagen being sent in first to draw 35 from the Sturmpioneer. But there you go. Another Molotov in the raid section. Forcing retreat from Calyon. You can't start calling the Jaegers. And versus, British builds, Jaegers tend to be very popular. Since with the G53 upgrade, you can sort of get around the British advantage against the Oberkommanders normally. So you will typically see in a Oberkommando split matchup that the Jaegers, and again here, nice new uniforms, will typically feature heavily because, again, they can sort of get around the otherwise normally high received accuracy bonuses the infantry sections have, plus again the cover bonuses, and sort of just negate that somewhat. So we'll probably see at least one more Jaeger squad here from Calyon, possibly even three. He's feeling really aggressive or annoyed. But there you go. Hit the car point, grab the fuel point. Really rough start for Calyon. He's just holding most of the map. He's bringing a 6-pounder gun. Probably concerned about the flak half track, and I guess he does just want to go for the AC Mark III. Or just wants to push for faster tanks, which is also possible. And there's definitely a few possibility that V might be exploring inside of his head, and obviously we can't read his mind. If we could, we'd probably be doing more profitable things. But so far, triple raid section, regular section, 6-pack, and of course the medics.
Supplies looking a bit squiffy. Line's been cut.
Follow back towards the northern victory point. Folks, the jump out of the section here. Quick retreat from V as again he realizes this is an engagement he can't win or can't even profit from. So rather than again waste manpower, he just retreats. Thumbs up there to V. Thumbs up. Again, one critical skill in Kamni's overall is just sometimes knowing when to just cut your losses and hightail it out of there, rather than try and keep finding a fight. And again, this was another one of those cases, just like, you know, caught in a bad spot, lots of British infantry. Best to just hit retreat and get the devil out of there. So far, though, V is still leading quite aggressively. Got the flak up there for Calyon. It's going to be quite necessary. We got the Aegis also upgraded with the marksman rifle, catching the 6-pound gun out in the open. And there we go, making use of sprint. Excellent. Thumbs up. Might even try and see if we can't run away with the anti-tank, and or at least salvage it for some extra resources, which could also work out well. Flak half tech, halfway down, rate section coming up here, catching the Aegis there in a slightly awkward spot. North here fighting for the fuel point there, as V leads in with a sizable infantry contingent that's going to force counter to respond to that quite aggressively. Flak half tech almost done. Here Jaegers continue to clash for the rate section there. Volksgrenadier, Sturmpionier all moving in. Flak half track almost around the corner. Fuel point there being dug in. Carpon once more ceased, and once more all the barbed wire in the world just doesn't stop the British. There we go, Banham Granada falls in the raid section, treating just the regular section, and narrowly prevents from rendering the point neutral. Really close in this. There you go, weapon racks unlocked, and of course means he can upgrade his raid sections with double Vickers case. But still, not enough to stop the Aegis, so once it started bleeding, of course can finish off quickly with the scoped rifle there. So, highlighting again why it's popular with the Oberkommandowist against the British. But we can see V rushes straight for the company command post, again looking to leverage this incredible opening into fast tanks, which obviously makes a ton of sense. Flak half tracks out there for Calyon for Deutschland, the 12th SS Panzerdivision Hitlerjugend, so named because recruited from amongst, well, the Hitlerjugend organizations. So yeah. And in fact, you had a lot of the SS divisions, sort of in that sense, at least some of them, having names that sort of hinted at, like, you know, the recruiting grounds, at least initially. For example, you had the 4th SS Panzergrenadier Polizei, which recruited initially actually from police, well, specifically was made from basically a lot of surplus German policemen that tried to just use the police as a way to get out of, you know, getting into the army. Surprise, you end up in the SS instead. But there you go. Second chart of the Jaegers here. This time, though, the Jaegers are not quite in position to push them back here. Still, does slow down their V from getting out of tank too fast. Calyon, though, will need a lot of anti-tank to stop up their V's assault team, particularly once more Vickers K's camping out there, because that means there's going to be a lot of firepower to back up those tanks. Flak after though, heavily damaged. MD-34 on the way here for Calyon, which has also been upgraded a bit visually, given a no also as the medics for the Oberkommandowist. A few slight changes there in uniforms as well. I think I've already shown the MD-34 previous episode, but here we go again. £6 flying away here. Heading northwards, southwards though. Got the point there. Vickers almost done for V and the British Army. Flak capturing southwards. V, though, is pretty close to say either fast centre or a fast Cromwell, and certainly a fast centre right now could possibly be devastating, since again it's just really good as his infantry. Plus, if you can quickly get to Tibet to run the strafing fire there, that could make things even more uncomfortable for Calyon and the Germans. But we shall see just. There you go, the raid section playing the Fulton Committee see it, tearing into them, their backs exposed here, and double Vickers Cage is doing ungodly amounts of harm. Black up to defend. We got 6 pound coming backed up at the regular section and the Vickers, making this much tougher. Then we got the Samax and the fuel point. Counter-attack here, though, moving in. Catches the V off guard here. Clearly not expecting to be counter-attacked as he was counter-attacking. That way, Calyon fiendishly outmaneuvers V there. Thumbs up to Calyon, though still gets caught by the Vickers. Blind gun, the 6 pound gun there, trying to keep the flak crafter in the fight here. And there you go. Still pretty risky here, pretty risky. And I think he's going to have to pull back the flak half track now before it becomes a flat half track and is lit on fire. Back hit reinforcing, no medics, no medical supplies. Also, no assault rifles for the full grenadiers. And we can, for example, now go straight away for the center. Again, that would be quite aggressive. I mean, he's got the fuel lead. I don't think he has to worry about armor anyway, so I think a center right now would be the optimal choice here for V versus Calyon. I suppose another option would actually try to say going for a fast Churchill tank, since the Kidnappers would have a really bad time with that as well. Up north, Indy 15 with the raid section pushing him back, but the car point has once been hit. You probably should consider some mines on that. There you go, medics ready, and again, slight overhaul there visually to the medics. Cromwell on the way there for V, so again, you know, nothing wrong in the Cromwell, very nice solid choice. In between, good versus both armor and infantry, but he's just so far ahead. I honestly think you should go for a centaur, because, you know, that's going to have more of an impact on the infantry, which is primarily what Calyon has at the moment. But again, Cromwell's not a bad choice, not by a long shot. I just think the centaur would be a slightly better choice here overall for the current situation. Bren guns in the remaining section. Why can't we get the Vickers case? Because, Gerald, you've got sticky fingers. So it can't be allowed near the fancy machine guns. Oh, bollocks. Well, what happened to the last two? Oh, shut up.
Damned enemies tried to take a point from us.
Grab the sun point with the raid section there. Cromwell out there for V. Flak half track turning into them. Should of course add the tank commander there. There we go. Good pick there. 6 pound gun gets good in the flak half track. Veterans who 1 gain, the 1 kill. Cromwell rushing forwards. Straight into the Kednev. That's going to be pretty lucky there for Calyon. We're springing up now, second Kednev Robinson responds to the arrival of British armour.
Supply line's been cut.
Oh, it certainly would be strange if he didn't. Folks found the cover shattered. One change did making the patch is now easy firing to tank guns, for example, hit stuff like sandbags to destroy them faster.
Ready to set up a new forward base.
Sections suppressed. Big spawn coming far here. Veterans 1 as well. Could try and pop and take immobility. North, their opponents being seized by Calyon and by Deutschland. Only 1 Jaeger squad, which is a bit interesting. But I'm guessing it's like more like the heavy emphasis on the rage section. Probably means Calyon doesn't feel like he needs to go for more Jaegers than that. Come racing forwards here. 1 kill. There we go. Now shot for the hedges. Up north here. Rage section shot to the Jaegers. Molotov over there. Jaegers with 7 kills. Plus 52. Still, raid section does not risk it, even if they meant to push the Jaegers out in the open. Interesting decision there. I think you should try at least to stick around there. Truck on the way for Count, going to finally be taking up here. Be fixing up this Cromwell. Section catching the Falcons here. Match hitting a slightly slower pacing at the moment. Honestly, I think V might actually consider going for an air resupply operation to get himself a mortar here. I think a mortar would be an excellent choice here versus Calyon. Could prime some options there for just attacking through there under cover of smoke. So I think that would be an excellent choice to go for that here from Mr. V. Plus another 6 pound gun, obviously. Wouldn't hurt either in the longer term. So I definitely think he should at least consider an air resupply operation. I don't think he doesn't have to, but I think he should consider it if he isn't. Because again, I think the Mortar would just be an excellent addition right here versus Calyon currently. Particularly with the match slowing down to a slower pace. Mortar can be an excellent way of just changing that around. On north, the raid section being held down here by Calyon's machine gun crews. And Calyon is overall once more finding themselves slowly being pushed back here by V across most parts of the front here as the British just keep hammering away. Schwer punted quarters up, control authorized, but then it's going to take Calyon some time to get any tanks here versus V and the British. Coming up, shattering sandbags, crashing them. Back after any repairs. And Jaegers they gain veteranly too. Excellent. From the move. Double Achilles punching several large shots in the Cromwell, pushing down to half health. Great shots there. Jaeger suppressed. And we do get a Vickers here on the way for V as well. Another one that is. Again, I think you should just go for this just for a mortar. Up north going for the northern point, but this time the Schwer punted quarters is ready. Vickers setting up. They could try and take aim for increased range and line of sight, plus another bunch of bonus there that makes it pretty good there. It's just most players never use it in a similar way that most Obor much best players and Veteran players never use the Incendiary Fishing Rounds despite those being good. Next, the court is going to have to fall back. Up north, flak after pushing back the raid section there. Cutting them to ribbons and leaving few survivors. And there we go. We do get an average supply relation there for V, finally. Very good. Thumbs up. I'm still not sure if that second Vickers was particularly necessary. Oh, medical supplies, got the 6-pounder gun, and we got the mortar there. There we go, making a run for the mortar. Excellent, thumbs up there to V. Clearly he's got the right idea there, at least hopefully he has the right idea. Alright, Thompson, I want the mortar to bombard that French village. What about the Germans? The Germans can wait. We've got bigger troubles. The damn French. But why? Just do what I'm telling you to, Thomas. Grabbing the point here. Steady pushing forwards here. Jaegers definitely need to get out there fast. They got no cover. They're going to the raid section. Of course, the mortar not supporting the raid section. Machine they caught by the Cromwell. Easy retreat here. Panther formal again there for Calyon. Thumbs up there. V could soon go for another Cromwell. He could also consider Centaur. Or he could be planning bigger like Comets, Churchills. I guess the Crocodile, but the Crocodile is definitely, I think, far off on the horizon. Definitely shouldn't be a priority right now. But again, like something like a Comet, Churchill, just more Cromwells. Even a Centaur, I think, would be excellent choice here for V right now. Got hit by the 6-pounder gun, the flak half-track. 6-pounder gun, by the way, lying abandoned. No one's bothering with that one, it seems. Decent mortar hit there. Sturmpionierbau equipped with a Panzer strike for increased anti-tank firepower here versus V's Britische Panzerkampfwagen. There we go. Panther 4 mold out there for Calyon. Ooh, Banhan gun out of there on the Vickers. We can relent to put in the Cromwell. Bit tight there for V, close to his own base. In the south here, we got a bit of push as well here. India 54 Jaegers for the raid section there by the side. Munitions point, Victor point being claimed. We got 410 to 375. And up north here, section with Bren guns, sappers, and Vickers machine guns all causing harm here to Calyon, forcing him to retreat. And of course, there's the Cromwell there, close to S61, but still no sign of armor here from V. And no sign of specialization either. So again, begs the question here, what V is planning. Could he actually be trying to go straight for a Crocodile here? Hard to say, we are getting the hammer specialization, so it is looking like at least either Comet or possibly Crocodile. We'll have to see. Panther 4 charging in there for Deutschland, pushing away 2 of each units, and also in the southern fuel police for now, fairly open here. Will force me, I think, to have to switch a lot of effort towards the south to just guard against the push from there. In the centre, every first section there, Calyon is pushing up with the squad there, heading northwards. A lot of stuff going on here, a lot of mind games, I think. Okay, troops reinforcing healing, flak half take good to go, 6 kills, veteran 2. And the MU54 caught here by these Cromwell is being mercilessly pounded, almost wiped out. Kevin fighting through the hedges, getting some hits there. Mines going down here, so much action really. And in the far south, the Jaeger strike at the fuel point. Close to veteran 3 there, the Kevin going in, caught by the raid sections. And the machine gun there is just lying abandoned in the middle of the bloody road. Panther remaining reserve, Jaegers about to get wiped out. He does sprint away there, thumbs up before retreating, hoping to get into like a better position to retreat from so the retreat path doesn't go right past every British gun in the sector. Troop reinforcing healing effort Calyon. Cromwell in need of some repairs. Machine gun flank captain. There we go. Another Jaeger squad now from Calyon. Deciding he does need additional Jaegers to hunt down those Verdammte Inselaffen. In the south centre, Vic sec pushing forwards there. Raid sec specifically not upgraded, by the way. Interesting.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Most from the south. Let's push back. Just got a flare off there. And then mortars caught here by the full Scanadilla. Vickers nearly saves the mortar cruiser from extermination. And we got the Cromwell rushing in there to save the day. Back here, he can actually go for the Comet now, but again, it could be he's planning for the Crocodile. He does go for the Comet. Bring in the premium medium here. Raid section there, close to 3 in the ace level. Smoke being off here. Could push forward to cover that to Molotov the machine gun. That would be half back. Cromwell being threatened backwards, but not really taking a lot of damage, if any. Victory points wise is pretty close between the two sides. Panther 4 things south has backed up with the Sturmpioneer. Raid section trying to skulk away to a slightly better position before the Panther 4 catches up to them. And there you go, good 6-man gun hit there, going straight for the Sarno on the Panther 4.
They're trying to take it.
Comet almost done up northeast, slowly putting head here. Jaegers backing up like Jaegers. Yeah, flak half tech backing up the Jaeger squad there in the centre. MD34 holding up the British from advancing any further, but Calyon remains very much enclosed in this part of the map here, with most of the map was being controlled the British, and certainly all the victory points for a brief while were also under his control. Modifier there, and there we go. Comet tank out for V and the British Army. Good hits from the counter punch straight for the Cromwell, punishing V there from exposing it with no real reconnaissance or at least infantry screening. Comet though definitely needs the tank commander, but munitions being expended elsewhere in the centre there. Troops being pinned down up north here, trying to push forwards. Is held here by the flak half tank and the Jaegers. A lot of action across a good chunk of the map here between the two sides. Calyon actually making steady progress now versus V, who is clearly not ready for this. But there you go. Comet is decimating here. Calyon's full Grenadiers, mortars pushing back, machine gun there as well, leaving the centre wider once more for a push by the 51st Infantry. Now up north here, Comet's moving in to push back the Germans there. Jaegers booby trapping the point. Very sneaky. Good Lord, Lawrence, look at that! T! No, don't! Good Lord, Terence! There wasn't even a brand known as stupid smelly Englishman. How could you even fall for that?
Where do you want this Comet? The Cromwell's ready to run.
It's a bit of quiet here. Jaeger's hiding out still there, close to Veteran 3. Comet slowly creeping out there. Shoots at the suspected bushes there.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Very much remembering its training videos. Including that Monty Python sketch on how not to get seen. Smokes in the center. Ooh, looks like I might see a push there. Very good. Panther for the counter-attacking here. He's also switching towards the center now, so like saying, you know, attacking from here or even here. Or then attacking from here as well. Feel like that's a slight missed opportunity by V to like execute a proper attack in the south with Crom doing Z with the focus on here, backing up the sappers. Squad there, equipped with Bren guns. Still hasn't grabbed the anti-tank gun, by the way. I find that slightly amusing. Comet here being engaged with two cameras in the Panther for clearing up the section supporting it, or the raid section specifically. Okay, there's a firing weight, pounding away at the Comet's armor up north and pushing for the northern point, but Flak half track there moves in to contest that and push back those for Dumpton into Laffen. We got 334 of 302. Come rushing through the center, straight at the MD-34 there. Good hit there from the Cromwell. And the Comet, in fact almost wiping out the MD-34 crew entirely. Far up north, Panther 4, Sturmpioneer on the move. Bayuex reinforcing healing for V. Coming forward, great hit there, 2 kills, almost vetted 2, and we see a full shift of counts caught there, basically just blobbing up by 2 tanks. They're very decent at punishing that. Then we think it's been better for V's or hit the center nearby. Question is, we'll go for another Comet. We'll now try and go for the Crom, not the Comet, but the Crocodile. Is there something that's being planned over V? We'll have to see. North here, a bit of light skirmishing. Panther falling back into serve, could try and make some more aggressive push, and there go Flak half tack taking to those for Dumpton into Laffen. Close 50 feet, great hit from the 6-pound gun. Raid section moving up there to assist, and the Flak half tack goes down. The crew combusts, but the Flak half tack somehow retains its slightly functional form. But like going to be finished off, coming in here. North side is looking perilously low extended now, with most of Calyon's forces back in his bases, not only defend northern field, but except the Panther 4 and the Shriap Panther course on the south side is also largely wide open. Quiet there. Worth noting we haven't seen any mines here though from these and his raid sections. I think that has been a good thing to maybe make use of. But we'll have to see what he goes for next. I mean, again, he's currently at more or less full pop cap, so he can't easily go for armor. So again, he may just ends up setting up resources for a Crocodile here versus Calyon. Of course, one thing he could consider would be a munitions cache to ensure himself more munitions for, say, things like mines. Until he called a northern point here to try and blast the position there. Comet being engaged with Dominic Calyon's on the hand here. He also now has the 2 sector assault ready here to perhaps launch a larger scale assault against V, which, if executed correctly, could be quite devastating, in particular since V doesn't have a centaur. Jaeger's just hunting up here by a tree before moving onwards, in this case southwards. More skirmishing here as V is slowly tightening the nukes around Calyon's northern position. We've got 256, 297 again. Fairly close in terms of victory point between the two, though V's currently got the minor lead over Calyon. And I think Calyon is stalling for a King Tiger, which is a pretty bold strategy. In some ways, though, I suppose if V isn't punishing him actively by being more aggressive, then it definitely has a chance to work. In particular, since there is definitely something lacking in V's force composition currently. He doesn't have a lot of anti-tank guns or other like tank destroyers, on the case of the British doctrine, self-propelled anti-tank guns. Aha. So a King Tiger could actually be fairly effective for Calyon long, you know, you just waste it by doing something silly. Smokes in the alpha against machine gun, but not against the kidnappers. And again, he could just try to launch an attack from the south. He catches his opponent off guard. There you go. We do actually get the Cromwell looking like you might want to do that. Except it hits the bloody tree. Bayuex near, moving forward and cover the smoke from the Comet. Pretty much obfuscating the machine gun's line of sight and effectively suppressing it. I mean, obviously mechanically it's not been suppressed, but effectively, because it can't bloody well shoot at all, it's suppressed. Esport calling the sector, Sword calling my count is going to be full on counter-attack, which is hoping to slow down V and buy more time for that Koenigsegger. He is moments away from that Tiger 2. Moments. Sturmpioneer dealing with the sap raid section. Panther's not getting knocked out in the meanwhile. Grenade off here, and it's a gammon bomb. Wipes the machine gun, shatters the sandbags, almost got the Sturmpioneer. Koenigsegger, though, has arrived here for Deutschland from the nearby 506th Schwere Panzerabteilung. Specific heavy tank battalions where heavy armor was organized into either Tiger 1s or Tiger 2s. They would usually have some varying sort of supporting elements, typically infantry. Actually, I believe also the half-tracks meant to support them, including pioneers and reconnaissance troops. Earlier versions of these heavy tank battalions all attacked Panzer III's Model Ns to help deal with infantry as well, but that was fairly quickly scrapped. Little fun one there. Adding the penalty machine into the Koenigsegger, aka the Tiger 2 or Tiger B. Credit from the 6-pounder gun on the King Tiger. Another great hit there. How will we respond to the rabble of the Koenigsegger though so far? Clearly not too concerned since there's one 6-pounder gun who's doing quite a good job against the King Tiger anyways. Another penetrating hit down to half health. Mein Gott, Otto, he calls this a Wunderwaffe and the British is just turning through the frontal armor like it's cardboard. Not even very good cardboard. So despite the impressive arrival of the King Tiger, it's not quite made a massive impact on V yet, and definitely A needs to fix it up schnell, but also, you know, leverage a bit better rather than just parking in front of an Ace anti-tank gun. Penetrating northwards, might be lining up for a big flank there, that could be an idea. Also some more infantry for counter would be an idea. Could go for more Jaegers, but honestly I think some Orbison will be a great idea. Ooh, 6-pounder gun, the might is making a move too far ahead here. But Calyon does not see this as an opportunity to exploit there and fails, I think, to punish it. Panther up north there just remains in reserve. Koenigsegger remains in dire need repairs here. Panther holding up in the north. Pretty quiet here. We got 184s to 97. Slowly moving ahead here. King Tiger almost good to go. Again.
We're losing a capture point.
Random shooting here. I mean, he wants to clear out stuff. He could just use the destroyed car belts. Oh, we do actually finally get ammunition to catch up from V. We'll have to see if he actually makes use of it, though, or how he makes use of it. Countering northwards, Panther 4 Academies are hiding out. Jaegers and machines all supporting here. Looking to be a bit pushy. Can Calyon break this assault, or will V break Calyon? There you go, great hit from the Panther getting into raid section being mauled here. Jaegers joining in. More troops running plus armor here. King Tiger could move in, or will he move towards the center? There you go, catching the section there. Ace anti-tank exposed himself pretty aggressively. White Phosphorus on like heading out for here. King Tiger moving towards the center, backing up the Sturmpioneer squad. Vickers though opening up, need to pop some smoke on that. King Tiger, I think, taking a mortar hit actually. And here's a fun fact. In during Operation Market Garden, King Tiger was actually knocked out by a mortar round hitting the radiator. Basically knocking out the engine. Sturmpioneer squad almost wiped out. Shot bouncing there from the anti-tank off the King Tiger's frontal armor. Bit of luck there, I suppose, for Calyon for once. Reaction unfortunately losing poor Lewis there to the Jaegers, who quickly and definitely pulling off. And there you go, other section straight into the MG-54 here. Point blank range. And the Panther 4 getting absolutely mauled here. Heavy losses there for V. Still, though, he's got Calyon on the back foot up. There you go, another mistake. Actually using the rapid maneuvers, 2 thumbs up, but in this case, can't turn from the King Tiger. And that's actually a bit of a mistake of V, though. He's got no other anti-tank guns or tanks trying to back up here, so the King Tiger acts as a fairly decent chance, unless either V pulls off a brilliant maneuver or Calyon screws it up. Almost got the Ken over there, but the Cromwell I think is going to go down to the King Tiger. And there you go. Pop goes to Weasling, just the Comet now, and we got the Panther 4 moving in. Cromwell there. Oh, Comet has to get out. We do get Overdrive. It gets caught up in the wreckage of the Cromwell, meaning Calyon has a chance to take out the Comet here. There we go. Comet down. All of a sudden, he's gone from being in a strong position to all of a sudden a fairly rubbish one. He's going for the Firefly in response to this. He needs to recruit that 6-pounder gun fast and probably get out another one too. Oh, he's trying to recruit the other one. He has finally recruited. Recruited. No, firstly, he hasn't recruited because that mean had been recruited. It hasn't. So yeah, a bit of fierce fighting there to get these both fixed up. He's getting the repair pioneers as he obviously needs to fix up his Scheiße very schnell. Yeah, you can see it versus the raid section there. We got almost 54 on those. Firefly almost done up north. The MG-34 firing away at the advancing Tommies. Pantherful good to go already here for Calyon. Very good. Koenig seeking the next target. And there goes Sherman Firefly or Sherman VC. Occasionally also Sherman IC depending on the type of Sherman is based off. Pantherful rushing southwards. Calyon's clearly got something in mind, but needs to get around some of those victory points because he's down just 120 versus V's 297. That's definitely a bit of a gap now. Like, for quite a good bit of the match here, fairly really reasonable small gap, but now V has definitely pulled ahead of Calyon, and Calyon needs to fix that schnell. Firefly right there with both tube rockets and the tank commander.
Ready to move out. Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Looking up with that Firefly. Okay, and the 6-pounder gun. And wiped. Darlu two rockets out on the King Tiger. Starting it up there briefly, that's pretty good. But without much to follow up, it doesn't really matter there for V. Can he follow up here in some way otherwise? Calyon that quickly backs off. We got Sappers, raid signaling force there. Up north here, machine in trouble here. Jaegers trying to buy time. We got 74. Calyon really needs to, like, you know, get into that Blitzkrieg spirit. He's going to get crushed by V. Got it on the Firefly. I think you should consider spearhead mode here on the King Tiger. Very good ability that tends to get overlooked. That's because the King Tiger doesn't see a lot of usage. Full pushing 40, Jaeger's backed up. Good here on the raid section, almost wipes it out there on retreat. That's pretty good. Flank here on the machine gun. King Tiger moving in there, goes to retreat from V in the center. All of a sudden everything's collapsing. We got artillery called in on a position where it doesn't matter, and he's lost another anti-tank gun, by the way. Jaeger's almost up by mine, but it does save the King Tiger there from hitting it, so I guess that's something there for Calyon. Good hit on the King Tiger and the Firefly. Very, very close between that Königstiger. Need to grab some more victory points here. And there we go. We do get spearhead mode plus another Pantherful for Calyon. Pantherful being fixed up, troops reinforcing healing, and really should ignore foot as well.
Enemy threatening a capture
Meanwhile,
point.
these mortars holding back here. Ace level though, I mean, that's not bad at all. Basil agrees. Basil a very big fan of mortars. There we go, straight into the King Tiger line of fire. Actually 2 gained. And of course, worth noting, a King Tiger with spearhead mode also gains some light suppression assault machine guns. Tagging into it can be fairly tough going for infantry. Also applies to the Tiger Ace, which also has the similar ability there. That one also gets some light suppression assault machine gun once spearhead mode is activated. There you go. Second section pressed as well. Completely messing up the Visa counterattack here. Second Pantherful almost done here for Calyon, but he's just got too many units for it to call in. Pantherful up in the south. Another Firefly here for V. What he could try and do is actually rush in with Blitzkrieg and then the King Tiger following up there, maybe. But the Jaegers on the move, including the half 8 to 8 level Jaegers. Sap's then in trouble, Firefly rushing forwards, dropping up the King Tiger. One rocket hits, another one whiffs. Also got another sector assault ready, and V still does not have any anti-aircraft gun at the ready. Handful going for a flank, and there goes support pulled in. With that, I think V just got outmaneuvered completely by Calyon. He's about to lose his Firefly here as Calyon and Deutschland strikes here. Luftwaffe finishes off the Firefly. Troops being suppressed or murdered out in the open. King Tigers get moving. 27 kills here. Up north, grabbing the pointy with the Jaeger squad in the trench that have been laid down previously here by V. Machine crew being annihilated. Raid section in the center here being absolutely decimated. We got another Firefly ready, but things are looking pretty bad. And there go, great hit. It's also still taking on the line of fire. The Luftwaffe here, so could get hammered there by the Kanonenvogel. Driving into the base here. Half elf, Pantherfolk driving over a lot of infantry, crushing them as it pursues the Firefly. King Tiger to assist here. Pantherfolk's about to get knocked up, but it's still murdering a lot of infantry inside of his base. Almost getting wiped. Eventually, full gain. Troops retreating here. There we go. Pop goes the Weasel, but the losses have been heavy to V and the British Army. His base is stained and littered with the corpses of men and Englishmen and his medics. Good Lord, bloody Germans, we only had pistols. It wasn't that big of a breach of conventions. Just a small one. Picks up the Firefly. King Tiger. And finally got the other Panther arrived. Yeah, these situations are now looking a lot more bleak. There's technically still a wide amount of frontage Calyon has to hold. He could theoretically grab enough victory points back, but it requires he attacks the correct ones. And also meant to, like, you know, bait away the King Tiger from the center one as well. But there you go. It's dead caught in the center by the King Tiger. Support weapons there being blasted and mauled here. Half H effectively in the Königsegg up north. They're having a fight for the next upon there. Panther doing what he can. Sex almost wiped out. In the center, the raid section is finding itself instead just crashed under the mighty footy or treads of the King Tiger. 32 kills. Half H of actually free. 33 kills. We got 52 as 216. You're seeing an air push back. Once more mercilessly routed. North there, troops being pushed back. And there you go, another wipe in V. And that in fact was his regular section. Oh, it's a raid section. Up here, raid section against the advancing Germans.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
And there you go, the surrenders, a loss for the British Empire, a victory for Deutschland. A tough fight here. I feel like Vida against trash rushing at centre. I think they've been much tougher counter to deal with. But also tactically, I think at times it became a bit too passive, too static. Should try to use smoke to like cover up the attacks better, like getting a bit more aggressive, bit more sort of maneuver focused against Calyon, but instead like just presented a lot of targets with allowed Calyon to stall out and slow turn the game around. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you do subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links in Cheers. Thank you for watching. Till tomorrow again for our last episode. Bye.